Welcome to Unlock Your Soul Memory. My name is Iris Fisher and I'm a provider of hypnotherapy sessions. Today, I'd like to explore the term observatory perspective. So, what is that? If you are having the observatory perspective, it's just looking at the outside. And there's always a disconnect from the other. So, you are observing something, you're looking at it. And usually you are shaping a certain idea or opinion about it, which is the standard of science. Science is approaching everything from this perspective. It's an outside perspective. You are not including what you're perceiving inside, what you're feeling inside. You have to cut off exactly that. You have just to approach it from a very objective version. You have to approach it from a distanced, disconnected standpoint. So if you look at the observatory perspective, that is actually the main focus of attention that is developed in our society. And why do I say developed? Because that's something where we are focusing on, where we are invited to focus on. We are usually not invited to focus on our inner perception. We are not invited to focus on our feelings. And this starts from small onwards. Even kindergarten, school is built that way. So the internal perspective, the internal focus doesn't have any value in our society. We even usually look at ourselves from the observatory perspective. And the observatory perspective very often has judgment coming in. It might not be intended that way, but usually judgment is coming in. So if you look at something, it has a standard. If it doesn't fulfill the standard, it's going to be judged. And that's the way how we usually also treat others or are treated. That's the danger within society, that we are treating each other that way. So we are not encouraged to learn the internal perspective. We are not encouraged to learn what's going on inside. But when we allow ourselves to go on that path, which is actually the path of the mystic, you are delving deep into the ocean of perception, into the ocean of awareness, into consciousness. And you are allowing yourself to connect to what is right within you. You are strengthening your internal world by that. You are building your internal world by that. When you have the observatory perspective, it often feels like we are just a shell. And we are analyzing things from a certain set of mind that we learned. But there's no real authentic connection that was developed on the internal. I would like to ask you, can you imagine how a society would look like if we would establish this internal path from small onwards, if we would validate the perceptions and the feelings from small onwards? I'd love to hear your thoughts in regards to that. And I know it can go into the completely wrong direction if we just say, okay, whatever you're perceiving is right, and we don't see perception also as a developmental path. If you see it as a fixated standpoint, it can go completely nuts, like completely wrong. It can go into the complete wrong direction. But let me know what your thoughts are. Very curious about that. So that's from me for today. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care and goodbye.